Previously, in Doraken. Upon waking up, the Hounds of War discovered that both Jace and Eos were missing, with no traces of their whereabouts. Blake decided to investigate the disappearance, while the remaining Hounds of War along with Casimir Sarik traveled to the eastern part of the Echo Swamp in an attempt to forge an alliance with the xenophobic tribesmen that resided within. But as Davri, Naris, Aurora and Casimir made their way through the swamp, they were suddenly ambushed by the troll Kuriana the Gifted and her goons of Kharakan soldiers. But even a spellcasting troll proved to be nothing more than a small bump in the road for the heroes. Further inside, the Hounds of War encountered a black half-dragon named Kriana, along with a couple of tribesmen and black dragon wormlings. Kriana told them that she and the rest of her group were part of the tribe that the Hounds of War were searching for, namely the Black-Winged Scions, and that they were once part of the cult that worshipped the black dragon Gradunlax, the Swashkas. Kriana promised to aid Delta Base resistance, in return that the heroes helped her overthrow her chieftain, Elder Nevis. At the camp of the Black-Winged Scions, the heroes interrupted a meeting between a platoon of Kharakan mages led by Commander Gadas and the tribesmen led by Elder Nevis. Both the commander and the chieftain were killed in the following fight, and while Kriana executed her first order as the new chieftain, by executing those still loyal to Elder Nevis, the Hounds of War interrogated the sole surviving Kharakan mage. The mage revealed that the Kharakan army was scouting the swamp for black dragon wormlings, which they would capture and then magically age and manipulate so they could bolster the Kharakan army. Back in Delta Bay, the Hounds of War decided that the next goal was to rescue the imprisoned crew of the Burning Unicorn. Casimir stated that he would lend some of the prostitute from the brothel he owed, Iraco Bodello, in order to provide a distraction, allowing the Hounds of War an easier access. Casimir left the party as they rested before their next mission, and when night fell, he sent his subordinate, the hobgoblin monk, Sura, to aid the party in his stead. The Hounds of War made their way to the brothel with Naris in Dark Dagger Brigade attire, Sura and Aurora teleporting through the darkness, and Davri walking the streets by himself, while the rest in an elaborate dress and wearing makeup. But before they arrived at the bordello, Davri was suddenly shot by an Orcish assassin. Fortunately, the rest of the party quickly came to his rescue, and in the end, the would-be killer was knocked unconscious and apprehended. At the prison, Davri and the prostitutes provided a highly effective distraction by orchestrating an orgy, while Aurora and Naris made their way below ground to the torture chambers where the captain of the Burning Unicorn, Captain Fang, was pummeled by his Ogrillian captor, Farak the Grappler. But even 2 against 1, Farak proved to be a lethal opponent, as he managed to slay Aurora by strangling her to death, before he was utterly maimed and killed by Naris in her Earth Elemental form. The session ended with the prisoners making their escape to a safe spot near Kellen Fisher's shop, while Davri and Naris witnessed Aurora's resurrection within the Church of Eliga.
Blake, you have also returned at this point, and you still did not find out where Jace and Eos disappeared to. At the break of dawn, however, you're all woken up by the sudden taps on or knocks on your door, and when you go to see who's on the other side, you can see various members of the resistance essentially ushering you to go down the stairs to the secret cellar and remain quiet, and it's now. And you can see that essentially that panic in the eyes makes you believe that maybe it's not the time to ask why or how or what is happening, just go. So you essentially all meet downstairs. You can see Nat the Vermin, and you also see the Wilbur and Hannah, who is also part of the resistance, and they're all just quiet. Upstairs, you hear a door being knocked off its hinges, the sound of metal boots on the floor above you, and you can hear also the sound of a cane as Kellen approaches these intruders. What brings you here, Commander?
Kellen Fisher, we're here to investigate your house.
I'm certain that this is not... And you just hear a slap of a gauntlet against a halfling's face, the sound of him falling down on the floor, and then more foot soldiers walking inside. I would like you all to roll a stealth check.
Okay. I rolled a 7, so that's a reliable 10 thing, so this becomes a 10, so it's 17.
Nice.
Okay, 2 seconds. I need to do math.
Yeah, I know, that's the worst.
Okay.
29.
29 minus 3, 26.
26, yeah?
13.
13. Yes, and I also roll for him. I will going to roll well. Then let's roll for the Kharakan soldiers. Again, you can hear various things being knocked about, shelves that have been pushed to the side to in order to see if there's a hidden door bit on the other side. And none of them seem to actually notice that there is like a blanket over the hatch leading down. Essentially what you've been told is the cellar once were used as a storage place for contrabands and illicit goods and so forth. But they don't seem to notice you, and after a while they start to leave. But before one of them leaves, you can hear him inform Kellen that he is supposed to meet up at the town square within 2 hours, as there's a public announcement. And after a while, you all just held your breath all this while, and finally you're like, okay, I think it's safe to go upstairs again. Nat says.
Sure.
Right.
And when you get up, you can see that Kellen has made his way to a chair. It's just like nurturing his cheek. That's just it was hit hard.
That'll leave a mark.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Okay.
Right, so what's this public announcement?
I don't know, but I didn't like the way he smiled at me. That's just told me.
I mean,
It is winter.
what?
Could be. We've been resisting so well.
I mean, the odds aren't great, but I mean, I suppose they are there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said maybe.
Perhaps
Right.
there's someone new in town or in public execution. That's what it usually is.
So how you feeling? Haven't been dead at all.
Been better.
Been better. I mean, you've also been worse though, haven't you?
Just flip him the bird.
Being dead was worse.
So what I'm saying. It's like being late to a funeral, you know, you're not the only one. Right. Right, should we, I don't know, just go hear this here announcement?
Perhaps we're also supposed to meet up with the tribesmen. And to that, Deborah says, well, I can do that. I also have some plans with Casimir later today. I'll be gone for a while. I'll be visiting the Solvakai. I have some plans I need to, well, put into fruition, essentially.
Yes,
Right.
And you're saying you're fine, Aurora?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Most definitely.
And she's like, I don't believe you, but I won't poke the bear.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
Well, if we have to go out, we need disguises.
I can disguise myself
and she,
as an animal.
essentially, Deborah is basically like doing the whole, I'm looking like a pilgrim, making his way through town.
Right. Occurs to me, I mean, if I may.
Yeah, you have the disguise kit, I believe.
I have a disguise kit, yeah, I can probably just...
I have a hat of disguise.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Have they seen me? Do they know that I'm...
They haven't seen... When you entered the town, you disguised yourself as a harbour worker, essentially. So no one has seen you in the town.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay. Just, you know...
And when you ask around for...
Also, I can pass as a native speaker.
Yeah.
A master of entry.
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
hey,
I think I should be okay. This is sort of what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I blend in.
Because with my beard.
With this here face.
Everyone who looks everywhere else.
They just naturally drift off. Sometimes off to the toilet. To a point. But other than that.
It's not that people don't see you, it's that they don't want to see you.
No. They
Oh
repress
yeah! I have a stone of good luck that gives me plus one to save
so you only have -2 now.
Yeah!
Oh no, yeah, -3 and then reduce to -2.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Wait, you have a stone of good luck?
She won that.
I think it's broken.
Not quite, because you did survive even being killed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. So
you make your way to the town square, essentially.
Yes. 2 hours later.
I'll just one moment.
Yeah, if you want to do something before you go there, you're perfectly able to do so.
Yes, I'm just contemplating.
Scrawny,
right.
did you find anything about Jace and my brother yesterday?
No, I don't. I have no idea where they go now. I've been checking the sending stone, and he's hasn't left any messages. Is that how that
Yeah, also, the sentence that you have is the one that Seeker has right now, isn't it?
Right, I gave one to the Seeker. That's why he's not answering.
You have one new message.
I think I have you back.
Sorry, I'm teleporting to it. Sorry, I'm inside the room. I can't really.
I think my rocky-talkie is the fun.
Walkie-talkie.
Aurora, do you want me to scribe for Eos?
Can you do that,
Yes.
please?
I'll scribe for Eos.
Very well.
Did you mention anything about? I mean,
I just have to check how that spell works.
Yeah.
What it used once before.
all the other clans and
Okay.
demons and stuff.
So, I can see and hear a creature you choose that is in... okay, so the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, unless he wants to fail it.
So he can choose to fail
That's
it.
not what I mean. Maybe they
If he wants to be able to observe. Now, the save modifiers.
I mean,
If I know the target well,
Yeah.
the save is a -5, and yeah.
And
No,
what?
-7 actually, because I probably know his liking as well. And on a successful save, the target wouldn't be affected, and on a failed, then I...
Yeah, and it doesn't matter which realm of existence they are, right?
I don't think so.
Just like it's a question.
And it lasts...
what's your AC?
It lasts for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
And,
What's your passive perception?
yeah.
Okay. Well, when you cast a spell, you do not see ears. Only utter darkness, and then the sun is overtaken by this flash of baleful light. It feels like your mind is on fire, and that someone is probing through your thoughts and memories with the surgical precision of, well, a meat cleaver. I would like you to roll a wisdom save.
Oh shit!
That would be my kind of deal. 15.
Not enough. I will need to roll some psychic damage.
Yikes!
7,
What?
10, 28 points of psychic damage, and I would like you to roll a d100.
66.
66. When Naris returns from her scrying, you can see that she starts to have these uncontrollable tremors or tics. You now have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws that involve strength and dexterity.
Well, strength wouldn't be my thing anyway.
It's your only week.
And Aurora, seeing as you has also one time been affected by temporary insanity, do you believe this might be some side effect, but it might subside at some point? How long?
Yes.
I don't think he's in a nice place.
You can see like beads of sweat just dripping down her head, like.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so he's not in a nice place, but this is Eos, so he's not.
No, we're talking very not nice.
Very not nice.
Did you see anything?
Light. Very evil light.
It was quite clear to you that someone intercepted your scrying.
But someone intercepted my scrying. Someone didn't want him to be seen.
Right.
So maybe someone...
I have a feeling that perhaps, I mean, might this have anything to do with all this these demons he's been summoning?
Why would he disappear in the middle of the night?
Maybe he got plane shifted to some sort of demon.
Could we go to a nice
I mean, I
place
did
now?
tell him many times not to do it, and then I
Did you? Did you really?
Yes.
I would roll an investigation check because you have also walked into that room, like doing the whole Detective Sherlock.
Wait, can I? I mean, I'm the detective.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, I'm saying that's why because you tried to investigate the disappearance, so
Alright.
makes sense.
That's a 32. They also crit.
I so want a detective show where the detective at some point.
At
Wait, I'm the
Jason's
detective.
room, what you noticed was that the door was open. You also noticed that last time you tried to look into it. At Iris' room, you did have this faint scent of sulfur.
Right. So, I think we should move forward with the demon theory. Also, why would I mean, I get why a demon would come and take years. That's sort of, no offense, but it's sort of a matter of time, really, since with what he's been dabbling. I mean, Dabby's told him many times, but why would they take Jace?
I'm not scrying for Jace. Not that I know.
That's fair.
And what else?
Strength or dexterity.
I would like to look at. Have I looked at Jace's room?
You can also roll for him as well.
Right. That's a 31.
31. There's no trace of sulfur at Jace's room, but you do notice that at the door, there seems like something wet has been near the door. And
no trace of Jace.
And you also see that, for instance, like places in the room that keep the temperature for a long time, for like corners and so forth, seems to be a slight cold.
This is very strange. I mean, there's no sulfur in here. Could it be that they vanished for two different reasons? Just in the same.
Isn't there some kind of, if you say it's cold, some kind of frost demon?
Perhaps. I mean,
But why would they take Jace? I mean, my brother I get, but we don't know actually for sure that it was a demon. It could have been someone else from the Kharakan army.
You're also, I mean, you're right. It might have been a devil instead.
Also, the difference between the two is that essentially when Ears disappeared, the only thing that he must have taken with him were his 2 daggers. Jace seems to have taken all of his stuff, like as if he was prepared to go away.
Yeah.
What is Jace's patron? Doesn't he draw his power from some...
You all know that he has a patron named Lady Galafriel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's it's sort of a fey thing.
Yeah, and she's the maiden of Rhymefrost or whatever.
There it is. Right. Yeah, so he probably just went on...
Maybe she called on him.
And he left maybe.
I'm still not scrying for him.
No, that's fair. I don't think it... Because if he's in the Fey world, you don't want to...
See, now it's just...
You don't want to be psychically peeping into the Fey world.
I actually don't think I would be psychically peeping anywhere for a while.
That's Friday nothing. Right. So, don't know if there's really anything we can do as of now to try to get him. Here's what I'm thinking. Once we have once we've calmed down and your brain is less fried, perhaps does any of us know how to do that summon that demon thing he kept summoning? Maybe that thing will know something.
Sorry, Eos is the one with the spells.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe when Jace returns.
Yes.
I mean, Jace would probably know something.
Jace probably wouldn't either, because it's not really his deal, summoning demons.
So,
but you know, a lot of mages and so forth.
For the time being, I think until we can get back to a place where they have.
We finish our business here, and then I want to go looking for my brother.
Yes. Perhaps one of the magical colleges we can find someone who specializes in demonology and stuff like that, and then we can. Because we know the name of one demon, so we can summon that specific demon, and then perhaps they'll know something.
Yeah.
Or was it a devil? No, it was a demon.
It's a demon.
Yeah, called
Krios.
Oh, I think that for bubbled. Why? Right. So should we go and have a look at this here town announcement?
Let's.
Yeah, I'll just wild shave into a cat and follow them.
The cat just starts to.
Look at it going, oh, that brings back memories. Not in the bag this time, though. That's good.
Well, when you arrive at the town, it is crowded with people. Like, almost you're sure that the entire city has been forced together here.
So it's easier to blend in.
Yeah. You also notice that there are several hundreds of soldiers. Clearly some of the soldiers from when Echo Swamp has been issued to stand watch here. At the center, you can see there's essentially this scaffold, giving just enough leverage so people, even from far back, can see at least the miniature figures standing. On the platform, you see a couple of soldiers. You see one of these soldiers is essentially a large orc with this red dragon scale armor, riding a scorpion. But essentially back and forth. And
Well, that's disconcerting.
I think I know that guy.
And then you see these blocks that has been placed. You see 10 of them being placed. And then the soldiers strike 10 people and force them down. Only, it's not people, it's children. And then this orc cries out, and clearly is magically amplified, allowing all to hear. Innocents' lives were lost yesterday within the swarm of Echo. So in return, lives of the innocent must be paid. And in that,
Before we can do anything?
you can certainly try again. As soon as he finishes the sentence.
200 soldiers. Probably do. Davrin's left, right?
Davrin's gone.
Yeah, okay.
And the only one from the resistance joining is Wilbur, because Hannah is also essentially a wanted person.
I have turned my flux rod into a sort of quarterstaff for walking. And the axes go down, and if you look back at me, it is now just a sword, and they're just going. Well, we'll have to kill him, I think.
He's on the top of my list.
Meow.
You go.
Yeah.
And then again, you see the parents of the children have also been forced up to the platform in order to witness what has happened.
Oh.
Some of them cry out, some of them are just completely catatonic, and
That would be.
and suddenly you can see from within the distance, probably on the opposite side of the square where you are, people being pushed and shoved to the side. As you see this two-headed giant riding a triceratops, Major General Horum and Klaus, who you have been told about.
I'll just make a note here that although I'm horrified, I keep I look at the Triceratops and the giant scorpion. Could I emulate that at some point? But then I'm horrified again. Yeah.
Wait, there's a big old Etten?
Yep.
Damn.
General what? What's his name?
Horum and Klaus are the names. And
It has two names? Because it's an Etten?
yeah, both had half
Oh
a
my
name.
god. I'm just gonna...
And
That is so old school D&D.
and you know that by proxy that this orc riding the scorpion clearly must be Colonel Tredex the Green Death.
Yikes. Right.
I know him too well.
Another player character makes his...
Wait, what?
Because the other players have been able to create characters because you and Alistair created yours.
Oh!
Yeah,
So I
we
just
have
wanted
my
to find-
character. Ooh, guess who's gonna get beat up.
That was the assassin trying to kill Davri last
Oh,
time.
nice.
Sovu the Soul Piercer.
And essentially you see that they meet up with Trenex and they speak. It's too far for you to actually hear what they're talking about, but the two Ettins nod and then make their way further inside town. It seems that some of the soldiers previously stationed within the swamp now has returned within. Probably because the alliance with the tribe did not go through.
Right. So,
Do we make our way back home?
I mean, I'd rather... Where exactly is the army stationed? This...
Essentially,
One of the barracks in the
yeah,
Anguish
that
swamp.
has been the majority. There has been about 700 or 800 stationed there. Then the other places, primarily these town watch stations for the sea sentinels. So they have essentially replaced the police within town.
Right. Is there any possibility that we can sneak in and kill these mothers? We're two rogues. I mean, I suppose we can just pass for a dude and go and kill him.
And Nat also revealed last time that essentially because he's a bard of this College of Whispers, I believe, he can kill a person and so look like them essentially,
Yes.
and gain some of their common knowledge they might pass in a conversation.
I think it needs much more planning than a quick decision on a town square.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And I think they're all on edge right now, and they're trying to find, I believe, us.
No.
Alright men, look for the crowd. You hear somebody nearby you. And you look over and you can see it's Commander Mauro, the same person who apprehended some of you when you entered the town. This hobgoblin wearing this black armor with a golden crest that creates this shield on his plate or on his chest.
Yeah. Do we know if he has magical abilities?
You don't think so, but he is riding a horse with black mane or black fur, must be, and a fiery mane and fire at its hooves.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
And you can see
That wouldn't happen to be a beast, would it?
no,
That's a demon.
that's a demon, yeah. Or fiend.
Right.
And you can see they're starting to scout through the crowd to see if they recognize some of the people they haven't met. They have been busy investigating each and every household.
Right, we should probably get going.
Should I go invisible?
I mean, you're always in disguise, aren't you?
I'm wearing a hat of disguise. It's magical.
Yeah.
What if the demon horse sees through it? And they don't.
Demon horse. Sådan en vensker, som lidt, hvis den kommer for tæt på en, der er i disguise.
Wait. So there's a ship called the Burning Unicorn.
Yeah,
And now we have a nightmare. A nightmare is essentially a burning unicorn.
just without a horn, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like in the lore, so are nightmares made by unicorns.
Yeah,
being
you
tortured?
can essentially swap between the two.
I want the word see.
Right. I think we should probably get going.
Okay, make a stealth check as you try to move around the crowds and the soldiers trying to...
Oh, look at that reliable talent coming in handy. 20.
24.
20.
He's on my shoulder.
Looking inconspicuous. But I mean,
Twitching.
Just sitting there going, cat.
so that would be...
Meow. Okay.
19.
19. Because there are so many people, they can possibly find you in this crowd. You are easily... Okay, that was pretty close.
Are people leaving the town square as they're being cleared?
They are essentially put through these crowds lines, and then like you can go through. You wait, and then but you know just enough about the town essentially because Blake also has been investigating the whole town.
Yeah.
To find these allies and so forth that the soldiers don't know about, so you can
We
get
can
away.
easily make our way
circumvent
out.
this pat down essentially.
Yeah. Well, we go home now.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Go,
I need to roll for willpower as well. Okay, no problem.
Once we're done, once we're back at the safe house, I drop out of the wild shape.
No!
Well, I'll go to the floor first.
Yeah.
I take off my hat of disguise.
And you know it would be a while before Kellen returns because he essentially arrived in his coach.
Right, so what's the plan?
As now, there's Hannah, the former town watch. There's Wilbur, this towering giant man with a crossbow, essentially a ballista, and then Nat the Vermin.
I don't like this place.
Well, it's pretty shitty, right? Nat says.
Were they at the town square too?
Nat and Hannah wasn't because they are wanted persons of interest.
Oh, okay, yeah. We tell Hannah of what happened at the town square.
And you can see she's shocked by this again. Clearly she knew that the help happened to you, but not the extent of it.
Right, so
We need to come up with a plan. And soon. I don't think we can do it just in a couple of days.
No, I think we have to do something rapidly.
We need more allies.
Yeah, probably. I don't necessarily see us sneaking into a... I see us sneaking into to an army camp and killing the high command, but I don't necessarily see us making it out.
The last time we snuck anywhere, it didn't go too well.
No.
You're thinking about the bank?
No, I'm thinking about, yesterday when I was killed.
Oh, right.
And you're like, what? You were killed?
Right, sorry. I completely forgot about that.
That was...
Not everything's about you, Aurora.
It should be. We still
But Aurora,
haven't...
didn't you want to watch that hill where the witch lives?
Crone Hill.
Maybe that could be an ally.
Maybe.
Witches, they can be either or.
Yeah, because what you know from local legend is that anyone setting foot on that island has not returned.
Well, that's fun. You could hope that it was just an island of cute bunnies and rainbows.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Of course, yes. I don't know why I would suggest such terrible things. It would be nice.
Who went to talk to the tribesmen? Someone talked about it. Was it Hannah?
Wasn't it Derek saying essentially he would meet up with...
Yeah.
Because they were creating this rebel camp within the western marches. And that says, well, we also have these two prisoners. We have, the prisoners you broke out last night. And this ship crew.
George and the assassin. Where are we keeping the assassin?
Oh, yeah, right. One moment. And you can see he walks through the wine cellar, essentially, and opens one of the crates, and you can see this just complete bound and gagged Kharakan soldier, mage, like, yeah, it's all good. And drags him out. And essentially just drags him into the room where you all are meeting.
So there's George. Where's the assassin?
Oh, bloody hell. Okay, come on.
We have a prisoner called George.
It's not really George. Definitely
You can see he's basically trying while bound saying, my name is not George.
Shut up.
Shut up, George. No one asked you. Right. So we torturing prisoners, or what are we doing?
What? No!
That's all.
Abby's not here.
I'm here.
I didn't ask because I wanted to torture prisoners. I asked because I wanted to specifically not torture prisoners, though.
We should take this somewhere soundproof.
No!
What are you going to do to them? Also, what are we...
Just so they can't scream, Neris. For help.
Right.
Okay, I can hear that. Just so that if someone comes barging in, they won't see a tied up Kharakan soldier.
Wait. What do we want out of these soldiers? Also, torturing doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't.
Nah. They'll just
You
tell
have
us.
never tortured right.
No, I haven't.
We haven't? Okay.
Right. So, what
We
exactly?
want to know what they were doing in the Echo Swamp. That's what we're going to ask George.
Oh, I'll already run through it again. Essentially, capturing dragons, send them back home to Karagas, create these large beasts of fire and death, or acid and death, I guess.
Okay. We should ask for any information about the barracks located in the eastern Echo Swamp.
And see, he essentially rolls out this parchment. It's like, okay, I get a general overview from George. It's not picture perfect, but it will do in a pinch.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't think we need George then if we have gotten all the information out of him. What about the assassin? He was captured last night, so I...
You can see George didn't help gotten like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, we don't need you, George. You know what that means. You're free to go.
Have you ever been eaten by a wolf, George?
But I'm not even hungry.
So that's the fact that it's like,
Well, what would happen if you ate him in wolf shape and then just un-wolf shaped yourself?
I would probably be very full.
Probably be very full. That's probably true.
Not hungry for days.
Right, so he's an hobgoblin soldier.
Yes.
yes, a member of the burning torches, which essentially...
Would a hobgoblin be a monster?
No, humanoid.
Humanoid.
Are you just looking for monsters to turn into?
No. It's just because...
If you can wall here.
No. Because there's a difference when you have spells that are called charm monster or charm person.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I can only charm persons.
Yeah, but you would be able to charm him because he's a humanoid.
So, when exactly did you pick up George here?
Yesterday in the Echo Swamp.
Why exactly did you pick him up?
I don't remember that we wanted him.
That's
Not sexually.
That's
I think it was just for information, but we've gotten all the information we need from George, right? So we don't need him anymore, unless he has some other information to give.
I am getting
What do you want to know?
Right, are there any sort of passwords when walking around the encampment, the barracks? Are there anything you'd have to say or do specifically for anyone to know that you are in fact a soldier of Kharakan?
Well, you'll need a tattoo assigned to you by whatever brigade you belong to.
Right. Did you have such a tattoo?
Yes.
Where?
And he points down towards his chest, essentially, on the right side.
Have a look at it and go.
And you can see, essentially, it's like this emblem that depicts a burning torch, essentially.
Does it just look tattooed, or does it look like scorched in this?
It's essentially iron branding on.
I see you being brand loyal. Right. So
I cast a charm person.
Very well, he needs to make a save, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
He rolled an 18 on the die.
Success.
That won't work on me. Sorry.
Where does these leaders live? The guy on the scorpion and the two-headed giant.
Major General Horam and Klaus live in the center of the barracks.
Which barracks? The ones?
The ones in the swamp.
Yeah.
Tredrax is a bit odd. He seems to be wandering about, having no permanent stay. He likes to sleep out in the swamp, which is fucking hot.
How many soldiers do you have in the Echo Swamp?
Last time I was there, 700. There's a bit of flux because we make shifts between those that went in the town and those in the swamp.
Do you walk around the swamp often? And how often a day? And how many in each group?
Well, there's always some scouting parties around the swamp to make sure there's no intruders or anything like that. We were a bit unique in that we were sent out to meet with the tribe to try to form an alliance.
Who sent you out?
We were followed simply to orders of Commander Garas.
I mean...
Are you here because of the Witch Queen?
The who?
The Witch Queen.
No, we're here because of Supreme General Tyler Blackshield.
I don't have any more questions, do you?
No, not really.
Well, Nat, tie him up.
Because he basically had drawn this chakram with these blades on his ready to... Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, sure. Tie him
Should we
up.
just kill him? I mean, no, Dad really would. He is still a paladin.
Yes.
We shouldn't kill
Well, back to the cell you go. No, Wilbur, you don't need to help me. That's because you're stronger than me, and no, it's fine. Of course I'm fucking sarcastic. Come over here. And you see that this tall man, like...
Yeah. The assassin. We need the assassin.
And both Wilbur and Hannah essentially grab her by the shoulder and drag her. Because she's a large gal.
Yep.
Muscular. Intimidating, even when bound. She's placed down on her knees, essentially with her hands tied behind her back.
I will be keeping an eye on her at any given time, in case she decides to break out of the bonds. Have you tried talking to her?
Not yet. She frightens me a bit.
Clever man. Okay, I will keep my distance, but crouch in front of her and pull out her gag.
She's like a statue when you do so. She doesn't move, she doesn't react, she just stares into the ground.
What is your name?
No response.
Do you want that?
And you see Ned okay, one moment. And he walks over to her and starts to whisper something in her ear. And she will need to make a wisdom save. And you can see panic and fear just emanating off her face. Clearly this was some sort of spell or effect that Nat used, but she is frightened and will be for the next hour.
I'll repeat myself. What is your name?
Solvo the Soul Piercer. Ma'am.
Is that what they call you?
Yes, ma'am. And she starts to cower a bit,
Yeah. And my eyes are of course black, but I will use thaumaturgy to make it look like sort of flames.
Essentially Vesh, these purple flames,
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
How did you find us?
I was issued to locate the gnome that was supposed to stay at the Church of Elika, but we have not been able to find.
Why was he of interest?
Commander Morrow did not like the way he acted and the fact that he disappeared mere hours after entering the town. Also, Major General Kuru did not appreciate newcomers so suddenly, and, well, seeing what has happened recently, I understand.
Did you relay this information onto anyone else?
No, I was to work alone. Find a threat. Eliminate it.
Did you know anyone else of our group?
And you see Nat goes over and pokes her, and each time she's like,
Yeah. Did you recognize anyone else of us?
No. I was told to find the gnome and slay him.
Good. Do you guys have any questions?
Two-headed giant and the guy on the scorpion. Do they ever have any business in the city?
As far as I know, they're stationed in the swamp.
And they never come into the city?
Well, they are leading the smashing brutes, so occasionally, but not often, no.
What would it take to get them into the city? What do they do here?
Well, they lead the main forces that took over the town, so whenever you can make sure that the force of the army is within town, well, then they will be there.
Do you know what they are in?
Occasionally they will meet up with the other majors and colonels and so forth.
If you were to assassinate the generals, how would you do it?
Well, I will pick them off one by one. They're quite powerful men, but together, invincible. The first one I'll go for would be Major General, let's see, what's her name? Major General Ukes. Right now she is investigating the burning unicorn, the ship we apprehended the other day. She's quite keen on doing experiments and so forth and tends to work alone.
Where does she reside?
As I said before, at the burning unicorn. Apparently the ship was carrying a lot of weaponry and so forth that was supposed to go further up, I believe, in Saltstead somewhere.
Aren't you cooperative?
Which one would you go after afterwards? So you take the general on the boat first. Which one then?
Well, armored clouds, while simple-minded, are always surrounded by soldiers, so maybe wait for them until there's some despair within the ranks. I would probably see if I can find Kuro. He's essentially the brain behind it all, even though that Dublac is the one leading the army. Kuro is his advisor and spy master, so if you can catch him, nothing could stop you from knowing everything about what happens in Delta Bay.
Do they do all things together?
How is the relationship between every member?
There's an unrest between every commanding officer.
Why?
Everyone wants to go up a further rank.
So if one had a chance to take prisoners, they would not show it to the rest? They would use it to gain an advantage?
Ooh, I have an idea.
Kuro might,
Talk about it in front of the prisoner. Let's wait.
I mean, we're gonna kill her, so that
now just liking her. Oh well, fine. Carry on.
So, Kuro, the spy master.
Yeah.
Does he have any sort of, like...
Powers?
Not powers, any sort of trait, any traits or weapons he prefers to use, or any sort of call sign is essentially what I'm getting at.
Moment, I'll need to look up a spell here.
Because here's the thing, it's a special weapon. I have a stick. Fellowship. Bow.
Okay,
That is not a good idea.
I mean, I do sort of know how these goblinoids and greenskins work, so
okay.
if you can sow dissent, they'll fall apart fairly quickly.
She fails that. You hear Sue roars out in pain.
Yeah?
Her eyes and nose start to bleed, and she falls down dead.
Dead?
Yeah, that'll do it.
You have to remember, you almost knocked her to an inch of her life, and she hasn't been able to recover from it yet.
And what happened? Why did she...
You can roll an account check.
I mean, I think I will just...
Yeah, I know.
19.
19.
Oh. 17.
There's a spell called Agias, where essentially when you work against the command given by the caster,
Yeah.
you take psychic damage.
Yes.
And clearly revealing anything more about Commander Kuro.
Right.
We need to heal her.
Yeah.
And you see
But here's
that's
the
placing
thing.
her eyes. She's dead.
Right, so here's the thing. That's the call.
That's the what?
That's the call sign. if he's working for Guru, and I asked her to give Guru out the geese kills her, then we know what Guru's call sign is. He geeses up all his subordinates, and he would be able to use that geese to kill them. So once we get the commander in boat, Ukis, make it look like she's been killed through magical means, through something that'll resemble this here geese.
GS, I can't recall.
Oh, actually, that's a spell I have.
Well,
right. So, I guess we're heading to the boat then, aren't we?
Could we take
For
a
recon.
short rest first?
No, we didn't.
No, again, you're fully rested.
Oh, we're just taking another.
No, right. Oh, no, you haven't.
yeah, we can take half an hour, and we're just gonna roll the body back down into the wine cellar. Perhaps we may need it.
Essentially, what you see happen is that Mulder takes the body, wraps it up in some cloth, and goes out to essentially the garden outside and starts to.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we take rest half an hour, and then we recon. We find out who is surrounding the burning unicorn.
Yeah.
What's going on, and then we come back, and then we strike this evening, if anything.
And you see Hannah raises his hand and says, also haven't you rescued the crew? Maybe they can tell you more about the ship.
Oh, that's right.
Jeg kommer til at tænke på Wolf, fordi det er den der spil, jeg snakker om før, som jeg kunne have brugt på dig, hvor du kunne have returnet som en angry dwarf. Kunne jeg også kaste på hende?
Yeah, it's perfectly within your prerogative.
You want to do it?
Not right now.
No.
Right, I'll just take a short rest.
Yeah, we're just gonna recon at the burning unicorn, and then if we have any more questions, we can ask the men. Because they are in the echo swamp to the west, right?
Yeah, they're not far from Kellen's house.
Yeah, we're just gonna scope out the area first then.
Okay.
So, short rest.
Thanks for listening. The intro music was by Philip Fischer, whereas the outro music was by Martin Kerr. The other pieces which are mentioned in the description down below were by Kevin MacLeod. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again in Doraken.